This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Mike Murphy.
Thank you, Charlie. Yes, I am Mike Murphy, host of the Good Neighbor Podcast. We are a podcast intended to introduce the residents of Northern Kentucky to the business owners that serve them. And today I have a business owner with me. I've just spent about 15 minutes getting to know her. We have not met until 15 minutes ago. And she is a wonderful woman that I'm excited to introduce you to because she has a big story. So we'll have her tell it as much as we can in a half hour. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Trina Brackens, the owner of VIP. Help me out. What's the full name of the
VIP
salon?
VIP Specialty Haircuts. Hello,
Okay.
world. Hi, America.
So welcome, Trina. So VIP Specialty Haircuts. And, we all know that VIP stands for, very important person. But in your case, what does it stand for?
Well, VIP to me is victorious, inspired people.
Okay. Very
So
good.
I like to serve VIP. So when people say VIP, when they see VIP, yes, I want to serve very important people, but more so than being important, I want you to be a victorious, inspired person. I want you to shine light and share joy.
I like that. Well, I told you a light shines from your face, and you're excited about what you do. You're passionate about what you do. And so,
I love cutting hair.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cutting hair, now I would say from what I've seen of your work and what I've learned about you, you do more than just cut hair. What you're providing is a very intimate service to people, and you've been doing it for longer than anybody would realize, because you don't look old enough to have been cutting hair for as long as you've been cutting hair.
Oh,
So
Mikey, stop it. Tell me more.
You told me how you started, but nobody's heard that story yet. So briefly, tell us how you got started cutting hair. Who's the first head of hair you cut?
My brother, Steven. Stevie,
Right,
hi, Steve. Hey. Okay, so again, I come from a very large family. It was 10 girls and 8 boys. And of course, we're not going to the beauty shop and barber shop every weekend like the typical family. So my daddy, he'd always cut my brother's hair, but he wasn't very good at it. He would just skin them off. He would just skin them off. And of course, they get teased on Sunday, get in a fight on Monday, get grounded on Tuesday, and then the process will start all over again. By the time they was free on the weekends, it was time for the haircut to start. So this one particular time, Steven, he wanted to get his hair, he wanted to be like Mr. T, because this is back in the 80s. Now we're 9, 10, 11 years old. So instead of going, on the sides, he went down the middle, like George
So instead of
Jefferson.
having a mohawk, he had a reverse mohawk.
Yeah, he had a bald spot. Yeah, he had a bald spot with a photo. So of course he got in trouble, and he got in trouble for that, and I felt so bad because I hate to see him always. It was a non-ending cycle. I knew it was going to be a bad haircut. I knew they was going to cry, and I knew they was going to get teased. And so the Saturday after that, the following week, it was time for the haircuts again. Now we was playing with the clippers. And I said, Steve, let me do it. And I took the clippers and I cut his hair and I evened it up. And it looked pretty good. And he was happy and I was happy, and we thought we had done something. Well, when my dad came home, he was livid. He liked to use higher octaves. So when my dad came home, he was pretty lit. Who did it? And I said, Steve, don't tell. He said, Trina done it. And I was like, I can't believe this man just threw me under the bus after I saved him from a bad haircut and a whooping. So my brother Steve, what he did, he said I did it. And my dad, it shocked all of us. And of course, me, I still got a little tear in my eye. He took his clippers and he wrapped up the cord and he handed it to me in my hand. He said, "You do the haircuts from now on." And I said, "Who, me?" Oh my God, I couldn't have been more than 9 or 10 years old. But
Yeah.
that's how I got started cutting on hair. So it was my brother Steve, and then of course Trill, Travis, and Tyrone. Those are my nephews that live behind me. And I promise you, Trill had a lot of practice haircuts. So
So
my
your so
brother and my nephews,
your punishment in the moment was you are now always and forever for the rest
the
of your
family
life.
barber.
You're the family barber. You're cutting everyone's hair, whether you want to or not. So
Yeah, that
obviously
is
that
how I got started.
that was something that even at that young age, you must have had some sort of inane skill set in you. And I know that from that point on, you've done nothing but grow in that business. So that takes us to today. And I know that you had a business, I think, in New Albany. Is that correct? A shop in New Albany?
I I did New Albany. That's where I opened my second salon. I was
Hmm.
20 when I opened in New Albany.
Hmm.
My first salon was in Clarksville, Indiana, when I was 19.
Okay. How far is Clarksville from New Albany for those of us who don't know the map?
New Albany and Clarksville are side by side, like 10
Okay.
minutes, 5 minutes.
Okay. And they're just across the river from Louisville. Is that correct?
Yes, Louisville, Kentucky. It's
Yeah.
New Albany is the southernmost point of the state, and that's
So
where I grew up at.
what brought you to Florence? How did that work?
Um,
What's that story?
well, it was right after 2020, and it was right after the pandemic. And
Hmm.
I heard some things about the Florence Mall needing tenants, and they may be closing, they may not be closing. I didn't know what was going on with them. But what I did know is every mall in America at some point had two salons in it. And the Regis Corporation, they would always have a Regis and a Master Cuts, a Regis and a Master Cuts. So I knew the infrastructure was already here and it could save me quite a bit of money. All
Hmm.
that I had to do was come in, and with the grace of God, um, we was actually turnkey ready. Like I was able to move right into the salon and just relabel and repackage and bring in products. And I know it was
Okay.
nothing but the grace of God.
So how were you received there at Florence Mall? Did it take you a while to build a clientele, or did they just kind of follow you because they knew you,
Oh
or what
wow.
was it like?
Oh wow. When I came here, I didn't know a soul. I didn't know not one person in Florence, Kentucky. And it was not it when you walk by faith and not by sight, they say a good person's steps is ordered by God. And I'm a true believer in the higher power. You know, I believe in God. I believe he's everything. He created us all and he's in us all. So when you have that love of God in your heart, then your steps are ordered. So I believe a good person's steps are ordered by God. I think I'm here on assignment. And then my assignment was I met a bunch of kids when I got here. And so when I got here, I continued to establish I established a program called Victorious Ministries for at-risk youth. So when I got here, I didn't have a lot of clientele. I would have these cute little Caucasian boys sitting around in my chairs, pretending to be barbers and spinning around, making my shop look busy. I call them now my brat pack. So I ended up taking those boys for their graduation. We all went up to the Covington, the 18th restaurant. It was so fancy. I made them wear shirt, ties, and suits because for 4 years, those boys were like my children. And they were really good kids and they would bring their other kids. But even when I wasn't busy, they made me look busy. And you know, monkey see, monkey do. People want to go where the action is. So these boys had my shop popping. Of course, they got a free haircuts in between, but it did take a while to build up. But once people knew I was here and the quality of the work, then my clientele rapidly changed to like a really upscale clientele. I don't
Yeah.
know the right word to say, but I have some really influential clients.
Okay. Clients that names we may have heard, correct? And
Yes,
even if you haven't,
I'm not gonna name drop today because that's part of being VIP. You get
yep,
pampered in privacy,
yep.
and it's yeah. So I'm not gonna drop the rappers or the football players
Hint, hint, hint,
or
hint. Yeah. Okay, Trina. So one thing you shared with me is you speak four languages, and you kind of shared with me why that is. So tell the listeners, why does Trina speak four languages?
Well, come on now, Mike. You're making me sound like a genius. Now, I'm not a fluent in like 4 different languages, but I know enough in 4 different languages to ask for haircuts. See, VIP is a multicultural salon, and we do not discriminate. We serve everybody, 8 to 80, blind, crippled, crazy. I don't care. I really love people. And if you need me, then I want to be that person to give you that experience. So,
Okay.
so I had to learn how to speak a little Spanish, a little French, a little
Okay.
German,
Oh,
just
that's pretty
to,
cool.
just to know. I
Yeah.
mean, you kind of put me on the spot there. You kind of make me seem like I'm just this, yeah,
Well,
yeah, I'm
you had an
gifted and I'm,
opportunity. You had an opportunity to look like a genius in front of everybody, but now you're just sort of stepping back a bit.
I'm just, you know what? I'm flying by the seat of my pants by the grace of God. It's nothing but the grace of God, sweet honey. Nothing but the
Yeah.
grace of God. And I
Well,
walk by faith and not by sight. So I
yeah.
came down here, and I'm excited about being down here. But I came down here because of the, like I said, the setup and infrastructure and everything that was
Mhm.
already here. But I was here for a certain group of people. And until my assignment's up, I'll be here in this area catering and taking care of that group of people. And then who
Okay.
knows? I might get to go to Paris and cut hair. I might go back out to California, back down to Atlanta. I mean, I've
Right.
been licensed in 5 or 6 different states.
Yeah.
And you got to be multicultural. You got to be well versed.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, money's green.
Yeah, and people need help, and people everywhere, no matter what their background is, they all need help, and we all want
Yes,
to look
sir.
nice. My wife sometimes teases me that I cut my hair with a butter knife because 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 there's not a Miss Trina in my life. That's why that is.
Hey, you do now. Your VIP's on me. You come and get the experience. And once you
Okay.
get the experience,
Yeah.
you'll know the difference. So it's not just the haircut, but it's the total
Mhm.
experience. I
Okay.
want you to
So
leave.
you.
I want each of my customers to leave feeling good. I want to leave you with a word or a phrase to help you succeed in life struggles. It's not just about the haircut. It's about the total experience. It's the whole person.
Yeah.
It's like a health thing for me.
So you kind of explained to me earlier what that looks like. I think some of us, especially men, because oftentimes we just don't want to care for ourselves the way we need to. So if we just sit down in someone's chair and they buzz, 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 and we throw down some money and we leave, that's kind of what we're used to. But your
No,
experience is way different.
I specialize in grooming the professional male. So I have oncologists, I have doctors, I have pilots, I have bankers, I have people with very stressful jobs, like, th- people whose lives are in their hands. Like if you're a
Mhm.
doctor and you might, I'm sorry, I don't want to stutter, but I've had experiences where people have come in here literally crying where they have just lost someone on the table
Okay.
and they don't even need a haircut, but they want the experience. So I do a charcoal-infused peppermint face towel.
Hmm.
And when I put that on, I do aromatherapy with the peppermint oils. So once you get your face covered and you start inhaling the natural oils, that already de-stresses you. So it's
Okay.
not just a haircut. I want to de-stress you. I want you to feel healthy inside and out, mentally strong.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just like a gift. It's like when you do what you love to do, you never work a day in your life. If God gives you an
Hmm.
assignment, you have to follow it. I want to be in the Bahamas somewhere on the beach, but I have to be here because when that person comes in that needs that haircut, but not the haircut, they come in, they
Yeah.
don't need a haircut, but they need a
Mhm.
haircut, but they don't need the haircut, they need the counseling.
Right.
And when you're used
Okay.
to loving on people and people are used to you loving on them, it was easy to build up a clientele here. It just grew, and word of mouth. So I went appointment only after my first year. I couldn't take walk-ins anymore personally, but the
Okay.
store does take walk-ins for other customers.
Well, so you get to know your clients, I'm sure. You get to know what their needs are. You get to know a bit about them personally. And so whether you want to or not, you become a little bit of a armchair psychologist, I would think that
like
you're
like the
not,
bartender.
yeah, right. You're not just de-stressing them, but I don't know, you just know what questions to ask so that they like somebody put it to me once. If you hit the right note, they start singing. So,
Oh,
do
that's cute.
yeah. If somebody sits in your chair,
Hmm.
are you used to talking to them? Is there interaction?
In case you can't tell, I lightweight got the gift of gab. I can't help but
Yeah.
talk, and I talk
Mhm.
a lot, and I blame that on coming from a big family as well. When you're the youngest of 18, you just want
Right.
to be heard. I mean, everything happened before you were born, and oh, hush up, and one day I'm I always reminisce because growing up in a big family has made me well rounded.
Yeah.
It instilled so much. I've dealt with every personality type before I ever left my home. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And when you're the youngest, you're usually supposed to listen. I always like to talk, but you don't really. So I do talk a lot. I do have the gift of gab. So when people sit down, it's just organic. I can't help but talk. They can't help but talk. Sometimes people start telling me stuff. I'll be like,
No, no,
don't tell
no. I
me,
don't want to hear
no,
that.
don't tell me no more. But again, they needed to get it out, and I hear it, and I love
Mhm.
it. I do love the people, but it's the experience. We were talking about the experience, and we got off on something else. So when people come here, it's not your basic haircut; it is a VIP experience. You really do feel um, priceless,
Yeah, I'm sure there's a warm towel involved in it somewhere. Um,
So you get a charcoal infused peppermint hot towel face wrap.
mhm.
So that's the first thing. And what it
Mhm.
does, it allows you to decompress. And then I come in with the peppermint, experiment, or whatever mint, because I have
Mhm.
a wide range of aromatherapies.
Yeah.
Some stimulate you, some make you want to go to sleep, some relaxes you. But at the end of the day, it's just aromatherapy. So that's just an extra that you get for the haircut. It's not just a cut. So by the time you get de-stressed, you get the charcoal infused peppermint face towel, and then you get pressure point massages in your temporals and your zygomatics and your mandible. We talk a lot, and what people don't know, when you get your face massage, it relaxes your entire body because a
Yeah.
lot of the pressure is in our face. And you also get a cranium, so we do the parietals. So it's not just a haircut; it's like almost it's a spa.
Has
It's a
any has
haircut
any
spa.
has
It's a
anybody ever
relaxation.
has anyone fallen asleep in your chair before?
Oh, all the time. Like I gotta make them leave. I definitely gotta make them get out of the shampoo bowl area. They don't never want to. Oh, it's over. Yeah, get up, baby. It's over. But then when you get to the chairs, we also do hot stones on your neck and your shoulders,
Okay.
and we also have the massage guns as well. So you'll get a charcoal infused peppermint face towel. You get your cranium, and you get your neck and shoulders, and you haven't even got your hair cut yet. I mean, the package is it's just crazy. So you already feeling wonderful, and then you actually leave with a specialty haircut. And the reason why it's a specialty haircut is because I've been cutting hair 30 years, and anybody I touch is
Yeah.
special.
Well, I like that, but I gotta say, I hope you're charging what you're worth because that's a lot, and it's a
Well,
valuable service. So
well, believe it or not, I'm moderately priced intentionally. So there's
okay.
packages, of course, that the upscale clients get, but
Hmm.
because I love everyone, I make it affordable. So you go to the barbershops right now, your basic cut and shave is going to run you 50, 60 bucks, 55 bucks,
Yeah.
60 bucks with a tip. I mean, you can go to, to some of the chains with the inexperience, but if you go to a nice upscale private salon, you're going to pay 50 to 60 bucks for a haircut. My basic haircut starts at $40.
Wow.
And then the VIP is 80. And so
Okay.
you can't beat it. You just can't
Yeah.
beat it. Walking, riding, or flying.
Well, that's that's incredible. So I'm glad that we got to sit down today because there are people out there that I'm sure are like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And they're going to beat it down for
Yeah.
you. So the problem might be that if I heard you earlier, you're appointment only. Is that correct? I mean,
Yes.
you're protecting time
Yes.
because a lot of people that want to see Miss Trina. So
I do
how
have Rose and Mikey here as well, so they can
okay.
get other stuff. They can still get a service, but if they want me, they may have to wait a little bit.
Mhm.
But it's
So
well worth the wait.
you mentioned your staff. You say Rose and Mikey. Is that correct?
Yeah, Rose is a braider,
Okay.
and she specializes in braids. So what we want to to do here is have, so, there's a lot of doctors. There's dentists, and then there's podiatrists. There's all
Mhm.
different types of specialists that work on your body. So you don't want to go to a dentist and say, give me heart surgery. It's like, you're a doctor, aren't you? Well, yes, I'm a doctor, but I don't perform heart surgery. So what
Yeah.
I try to do is whatever your expertise is, whatever it is that is your thing, then I have a person that just specializes in that. That's why it's called a specialty store, because we
Mhm.
specialize in whatever you're doing. So if you want to get some braids done, they're going to be the best braids you ever done. If you want to get makeup, Mikey's going to make your face look like he's ready for the runway. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, so I'm excited. And don't let me forget Teresita. She's here to greet you and treat you. She'll offer you a drink or a Coke or take your jacket for you and hang it
Yeah.
up and all that good stuff.
So those are all the people we're going to meet, see, interact with when we come to your salon.
Yes.
We we've let you talk quite a bit about the salon and the experience, and that's all well and good. But you mentioned something earlier about the nonprofit. Before we leave, I want to make sure that you get to love on the nonprofit a little bit. So one more time, tell us about the nonprofit and what's that? Um, what's it called?
Okay.
And what do you,
So again, back in 2020, during the pandemic, when a lot of people were losing their minds and kids were acting crazy and they just couldn't get out the house. They didn't know if they were going to live or die, or they didn't know what was going to happen. So you had a lot of kids suffering from depression. And I had met a couple of kids that were cutters, and I just couldn't take it. They were abusing themselves and doing all kind of crazy stuff. So I prayed and I said, Lord, what can I do? And he said, Victorious Ministries. And so that's what I did. I registered Victorious Ministries, and it's a program for at risk youth. But
Mhm.
all people are invited to come, because we have some adults too that have issues as well. A lot of times people focus on the youth because that's where the grant money is and this and that and the other, but it's welcome for everybody. Everybody, Victorious Ministries. So what we do at Victorious Ministries, so I have a mentoring program. So my first set of kids, they was with me for 4 years, and they graduated through the program. And we had a big, actually a couple of them wasn't even able to graduate. I didn't know if they was going to graduate or not. So I created a challenge, and I told the other ones, I said, if you make sure these two graduate, I'm going to take all six of you guys to the 18th, to the Towers, to the restaurant in Covington. It rotates and all that. And it was
Yeah.
such an amazing experience. And they had never been there. And it just gave them something to look forward to. So what Victorious Ministry does is I find the kids who need it, and then I create a challenge for them. But each challenge is different for each kid, so it's not one specific program. I actually
Okay.
cater to each kid individually, and I make sure that whatever they do, there's a checks and a rewards and a balance. So a couple of my clients had gotten into a little trouble, and they had to get on probation. So I also registered with the authority so that I would be able to allow them to do their community services hours here at VIP. So I'll make them sweep up, preach to them a little bit, give them a hug, maybe pull their ears. But
Hmm.
I think it's a beneficial program for the people that need it. And
Okay.
that's my assignment. And until my assignment's up, I'll be doing haircuts and taking care of
Yeah.
kids or at-risk people.
Well, it sounds like you've been given a lot of assignments and you're handling them all very well. I
I
know
try.
that there are people who are listening to this that when they heard about that nonprofit and what you're doing for youth, their ears perked up and they want to help too. So all that being said, before we sign off, I want people to know what's the best way to reach you, regardless of what the need is, whether they want to engage with you and come to your salon or learn more about the nonprofit. How would you prefer people reach you, just so that they can engage with you and you can help them, whatever that might mean?
So I have an email that I prefer, because once you get it in writing, you can keep up with it a lot better. I get a lot of calls on all of my
Mhm.
lines, so I do have different phones, but it's best to
Yep.
email. So the email is VIP Specialty Haircuts at bvip.store, store.
Okay.
So you want to repeat it again? This is VIP Specialty Haircuts at bvip.store. .store.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, Trina, is when I put this on social media, I'm going to make sure that that's spelled out for everybody so they can read.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And there are people that are going to start to beat a path to your door now that they know about you. A lot
And
of
you
people
know
know about
what?
you. A lot of people don't. And now they do.
Oh, well, thank you. But also, you can, there's also a link. I have an app that you can download. So there's a link to my app. So if you can put the
Okay.
link on there as well, they could just click on it and then go to the app, and all the prices, all the information, times, schedulings, everything's on the app.
Okay. What's the app called?
It's VIP Specialty Haircuts.
Okay. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, that just makes
It's
sense.
just VIP Specialty Haircuts. So I'll send you a link definitely that you can put in your bio, and then when they click on it, it'll go straight to there. And I also have a QR code that you can put on the bottom of the screen. They can just scan it.
Yeah. All right. I love that. Yeah. Any help you can give me to help you is much appreciated because you deserve to be loved on in the community because of all the good stuff you're doing. So
So what you
I'm
can do is come one time. Come one time and get that straight razor, get the hot towel, get
yeah.
all the treatment. And your wife will thank me for it because you'll be in such a better mood. You'll be such a happier person.
Yeah.
You'll come in feeling confident, feeling yourself.
Yeah. There are many of us men out here that need your services. We just don't admit it, you know?
And that's another thing. When you service the upscale male, so you go into a barbershop and tell a guy to wash your face or, get the hair in between your eyebrows and do all that. A
Mhm.
lot of barbers are kind of iffy about that. So this is a place where if you're an upscale male and you have to have male grooming, you don't feel any qualms or any shames about it. It's like, yes, this lady's taking care of me as if I was her own son.
Okay. So
Yes.
you get people hooked on your services is what happens.
I hope so. I mean, I've been at this thing 30 years, man, and I don't know how much longer my legs got to go. I always talk about that Bahamas beach trip deal where I want to just sleep on the beach in the
Right.
Bahamas.
Yeah, won't we all?
But I'm going
Well,
to do this, and I'm going to do this until I can't do anything else. I can't help but believe it. I'll probably die cutting hair. I love serving people.
yeah. Well, you've certainly found your pocket, your groove, and we would all love to be part of it. I'm glad that you and I got to meet today, and I'm glad that I got to introduce you to the community at large here.
Thank you so much. It's been a privilege and an honor. Let me see. I can't see without my glasses.
Yeah, that comes with aging, I know. But you
Hey
look great.
man, it
You
was
look
so
great.
nice. You're awesome. It was really nice meeting you. I didn't know
Well,
what to expect. I was quite nervous, but you're a
yeah,
pro at this. You made me feel very comfortable the whole time.
yeah. My job is to just make you feel at ease. It's like, um, it's really just about telling a story, and nobody knows your story better than you. So I just ask a question or two, and I let you go. Like I said before, I hit the right note, and you start singing. So
Thank you.
thanks for singing your song to us today. I really appreciate it. I'm going to come down to the mall.
Well,
I'm going to
send
meet
folks
you.
my way.
Yeah, they're going to beat a path to your door. I promise.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
and you and I are going to have a part two to the podcast. We don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I look forward to staying in touch with you and becoming your
But
friend.
too.
And yeah, part two is coming. Don't know when, don't know where, but it's coming. So, Trina, thank you for spending time with us today. I know that today is your day off. You're a hardworking woman. You need your playtime. You need your time off. So go to it. And
Bye. Thank you.
what I'll
I'll
say to
see
the
you
rest
for
of the
part two.
what I'll say to the community is this is the Good Neighbor podcast. So until next time, everybody out there, be good to your neighbor, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks for
I
listening to
am
the
my-
Good Neighbor Podcast Union. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpunion.com. That's gnpunion.com, or call us at 859-651-8330.